Hi guys, this is Darth Varg from the Thoughts of Insane Darth Varg, and today I'd like to do a serious vlog, and this one is going to be on my grandmother, Dorothy Costa, or as we would know her as Nana. It's her right there. Um, Again, I haven't seen any family member do this, and it's something I have wanted to do for a while now. We just passed the anniversary of her passing. As she passed on March the 2nd of 2004. So again, we just passed the 9-year anniversary of that. So I'm going to go into what my life with her, my thoughts and feelings about her, and all that. So the start is pretty much she took me in, me and my brother, when I was quite young. Um, Me and him were at a foster home, and there was this lady there that knew my grandmother, and they worked it out, and my grandmother was able to get full custody of me and my brother. So yeah, a nice little small miracle, if you want to say, there for us. While I lived there, it was great. Again, it's a grandmother, so you can get away with anything. I got to pretty much eat anything I wanted, which again was mostly McDonald's or, as I used to call it, Vava's, um, and cheese hot dogs, which to this day I still love. But again, as much as she was loving and caring to me and let me do whatever I want, she was very good at disciplining me. There was this time where I stole some pennies from her, and later on that day, we were in Ames down at the Quintry Mall, which used to be the Quintry Mall, and she caught me, and she rightfully disciplined me for that. Also, speaking of trouble, there was another time while living there. It was my Aunt Nancy's wedding, and I decided that I wanted some Vava. So I go take my little hippo ridey thingy and make my way to Vava's. Yeah, that didn't go over too well with everybody. I look at pictures today, and I've seen pictures, and just look of utter sadness on everyone's face because they don't know where I am. They're trying to find me, but the photographer still wants to take photos of them and all that. It was just a mess. It was not fun. Um, so by the time I was 5, I ended up moving in with my parents and my brothers. It was a tough transition. I'll admit, it wasn't one of the easiest transitions to make, but I made it. I would still go over there during Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving. My grandmother would have these big things. It was great fun. Everybody had a good time. I would again I'd sleep over there a few times. We'd go over there Sundays, usually after church. And it was great fun to do that. Um, Also, when I started getting into the Florida Panthers, back then didn't have cable. Back then we didn't have instant scores. We can get instant scores, so I would end up calling her whenever they played, and she'd go on Headline News and check out the scores for me there. Um, there was times though during especially basketball season, college basketball season, it seriously would take about a good 10 minutes just to get the score sometimes, if not more. Sometimes there'd be times I have to call back to get the score. Um, and then she also with the Panthers, she bought me my first Florida Panthers jersey. And I wore that thing till the Panther fell off. I love that jersey. Um, Also during 96, the year 1998, I ended up wanting to go visit my brother who was stationed in Minot, North Dakota. And my grandmother ended up paying for that bus ride there so I could go visit him. It was a long ride, a long bus ride. I never recommend anyone taking a bus ride halfway across the country. It was painful. But I greatly thank and grateful that she was able to do that for me so I could go visit him. But a few weeks later, after I had moved, um, came back from visiting my brother, I ended up moving back in with my grandparents, me and my mother. Um, and it was just a transition period. It's a very dark time in my life. But the bright spot in that time was I met my wife Melissa there. We both worked at Office Max. And my grandmother absolutely loved Melissa. Right from the start, she knew that she was the one for me. And when we got married, me and Melissa were actually going to elope in Vegas. But we ended up deciding, let's just stay. Let's do it here. Let's in front of our family and all that. And my grandmother ended up paying for the wedding, helping prepare for it, doing all the food and everything like that. And when I look on back upon it, I am glad we actually did that because she ended up passing away in March of 2004. Me and Melissa got married October 26th of 2003. And the day that that happened, earlier in that day, I was going to go visit her. I had to come back from the mall, and I'm like, I want to go visit my grandmother. And I just didn't want to. I was just too tired. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go back home. Me and Melissa were living with her in-laws, with her parents at that time, my in-laws. And I was playing NHL 2000 2K4. And I vividly remember this again. I was the Panthers, and I was playing against the Edmonton Oilers. And I hear that my mother was there, and I go in, and she's bawling. And she told me that my grandmother had passed away. I was just too much shock. I go with her to my grandmother's house, and just the next few days, I was just in so much shock. I just didn't know I couldn't cry. I was in just too much numb. I was just so numb from the loss. I could not let go like everyone else there that was able to let go, the crying. I just couldn't do that. I felt in awe, numb, and I just was there for everyone else. About a few days later, I was working at Best Buy. It was a Sunday, and I was listening to Rhapsody back then. You can put songs on and stuff like that. And I was listening to Celine Dion, and the song "Goodbye Is the Saddest Word" came on, and that's when I finally broke down and was able to let go and cry. I let my sorrow out. And anytime that song does come on now, I do get choked up. Because, again, like I said, she was like a mother um, to me. My grandmother was like a mother, another second mother to me. And she taught me so many great values, virtues. She always was very caring, very loving, never held a grudge against anybody, loved just about everybody that she came across, was very helpful with everyone. Everyone had great words to say about her. And she was just a great, great lady. She loved knitting, holding family get-togethers like barbecues during the summer, the Christmas things, Thanksgivings. And she also ended up loved going to the casino as well. Her and my grandfather constantly would go to Vegas, but once every 2 years or so. They go down to Mohegan, Foxwoods. It's because of her I think I got that love of gambling because they play scratch tickets all the time, Keno. They got me into that, and I was able to go. Like I said, me and Melissa were able to go to Vegas, and we got pictures and stuff like that, and they loved it and all that. Um, she also loved to make dolls, and she was actually featured in the Braintree Forum for her doll making, which was really cool. So, and like I said, I mentioned Celine Dion. She loved Celine Dion, and she got me into Celine Dion as well. So, in closing, my grandmother was such a great person, and I miss her every day. And she is definitely missed by everyone that loved her. And I know that she has had a very, very positive influence on me and other people as well. So with that, I will leave you on this note, and I appreciate you all for viewing this. Thank you.